Hi everyone, this is Heather Lautanen from the Flourish.Academy. This is episode 302, and today we're talking about the difference between albums and press printed books. I'm going to share my experience primarily using White House Custom Color, Miller's Lab, and Fineo albums. So the main difference is the pages. Album pages are thick, rigid, and typically ordered as spreads, where book pages are thin, flexible, and they're ordered as sides. So in an album, you can have an entire spread, one image that sort of spans the spread, panoramic, and it's beautiful. You design them in Photoshop or whatever album software you're using as a spread, and you upload those spreads, and that's the album, thicker pages. The books printed on thinner, more flexible pages is that they're on the sides, so you're just uploading each side. Okay, that means two things. One is some of these books do not lay flat. Yes, they make press printed books that lay flat, but some of them do not, so you have to check with your lab. Some of them are magazine style, so when you open it, they sort of bend, which means you lose something in the gutter. They do make press printed that lay flat. They are hinged differently. Now, from what I've seen, most of them will not do a panoramic print across. Okay, you can make it look that way, but there's going to be a gutter in a press printed book, even if it's really, really small. Another main difference is price. There are a ton more album cover options than there are book cover options press printed, so the price is set accordingly. In general, when I'm ordering something other than a high-end bridal album, I'm ordering a press printed book. This would be maybe for a lifestyle session, a senior session, maybe an engagement album. When I'm ordering a high-end, very nice bridal album, I'm ordering an album, not a press printed book. The quality is a little bit different. The books are beautiful and they are relatively inexpensive, which makes them an ideal product offering for most photographers. But you want to have the option for people to upgrade to an album. So if you do offer books, which I think you should because everybody's photos should be printed, then I would have an option to upgrade or upsell to the client of an album with a beautiful cover and lots of different bells and whistles. Okay, that means that you have to have these as samples so that you can show that particular client. Now, I was hoping to share some samples with you today, but I realized that about a year or two ago, I went through all of my wedding albums and books that I had, and they were kind of old, maybe 5 years or so. So I sent them all out to the clients. What a nice surprise. Can you imagine you were married 5 or 10 years ago and then your photographer just mails you an album for free? Isn't that awesome? I love that. I didn't tell him I was doing it, but I didn't need those anymore. Well, as a result, I don't have any to show you, but I'm going to post a link below to an article on White House Custom Color's website. And by the way, any lab that you use should have an article about this so that you can read through their differences. I have it in front of me right now, and it says the difference really is the pages. Albums are thick and rigid. They're ordered as spreads. Press printed books are thin and flexible, and they're ordered as sides, and they're going to be less expensive. You have many, many more cover options with albums than you do with books. Albums will have all of these different beautiful leather options with cutouts for images and imprinting. Yes, books have image covers and imprinting. It does not look the same. It's a different quality of product. In general, I'm looking at books for more of like an everyday, normal, regular type of session, and a wedding album to me is an album. I do not offer press printed books as wedding albums. Now, my clients do get a press printed book, a proof book, with all of their photos in it. That's press printed, it's magazine style, it's not lay flat, there's a little bend in the page, it's 10 by 10, it's inexpensive to produce, and it comes with their package so that they have something printed with all of their wedding photos in it. The reason I did that is because I do not currently possess or own all of the photos from my own wedding, and I hate that. Now, we were married about 19 years ago, which means it was film. Photographers just did not give away their film. That was never a consideration or an option. So we picked the photos we wanted to purchase in terms of what did we want to frame or mount and what did we want to put in an album. We do have those photos, but I do not own all of the photos from my wedding, and I can't stand that. And he's no longer in business, so they're gone. Bummer. I decided I did not want that to happen to my clients, so every client gets a press printed proof book. It has their image on the cover, a beautiful image on the back cover, their names, and then 9 images per page on 10 by 10 with the image number underneath it. This is a proof book. When they order their wedding album, it's beautiful, typically 10 by 10 or 12 by 12. It's leather, it's bound beautifully, it's meant to stand the test of time. They are high-end, they are fantastic. The books are a little bit less expensive. Also, you have different page options with each of these, either an album or a book. So for White House, their album pages come in 8 different surface options. So things like premium luster paper, pearl paper, art watercolor, etc. And then the book pages have only 5 options: magazine paper, standard matte with gloss, satin, pearl, etc. So those are the main differences between albums and books. I believe that every photographer who has clients should be offering some type of press printed book. Should everyone be offering albums? As an upgrade, for sure, but you might not sell as many. Could you please comment below and let me know, are you offering albums? Are you interested? Or more importantly, what frightens you about it? Is there a particular part of the process that you don't understand or you're concerned about? You can actually put together a press printed book for White House. You can put it together probably in 10 minutes in Lightroom if you automate it appropriately, because you can flag the photos and then filter and then throw them into the book module with some templates that you favorite, and then you export those, you upload the sides as JPEGs, and you place them in the press printed book through Rose. You order, easy peasy. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's really not. What are your questions? What are your thoughts? Have you considered albums versus books? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next video.